Give me a bite. Give me a bite. Give me a bite of that. Give me a bite of that. Give me a piece of that. Give me a piece of that. I love a piece of that. Bite-sized Thursday.
Okay, that's all I wanted for.
Let's get it out right now. Welcome, one and all, as Jake tries to throw off my intro.
I edited it. I could still remove your intro.
You do hold the power here, but welcome. It's Bite-Sized Thursday again. Heck yes. My second favorite day of the week other than Tuesdays. Thursdays and Tuesdays. So good. But today, we're keeping with our bite-side bite.
Wait.
Nope.
Second favorite day.
Side bite. There's a lot to unpack here. Wow.
You want me to do it?
I
Off Slate Media presents a bite-sized media production. Side bite side.
A subsidiary.
Oh, a subsidiary. Oh.
Subsidiary is too hard to say.
You just said
it. Anyway, that's a throwback joke if anybody saw that episode. But we are going to do some superhero stuff. Y'all remember the old 90s Batman cartoon? The iconic one with Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill. Wow, I can't believe his name escapes me. But
and Paul Williams. He's a penguin.
Oh, okay. He's
Paul
great in
Dano?
it.
What?
What about Paul Dano?
Paul Dano would have been like 10.
So my age.
I know. Paul Dano probably played one of those kids when Batman was in his basement.
Yes.
Whoa.
The worst episode of that show where he's dueling Penguin with a screwdriver.
I never saw that episode, but that sounds
about it.
wild.
He gets hurt, and then like the kids like pull him into his basement so he's okay, and then he fights Penguin with a little screwdriver. It's so, and the kids are watching, and it's like this big epic moment. But it's because the Penguin has his little umbrella.
Of course, yeah.
Anyway,
yeah. So what we're going to do is for Side Bite Side, we are going to watch the pilot episode of 90s Batman, which is the Cat and the Claw.
Yes, part
one.
Only part one.
And then we're going to compare it to the other major popular DC superhero, Superman.
Yeah.
And we're going to watch that next week. So if you like this episode, stay tuned and we're going to compare.
And if you don't like this episode, that's probably good for your mental health.
Probably.
I have some spoilers.
Spoilers?
Superman is not as good.
I've never... Okay, yeah, really quick. Let's get it out. I've never seen the Superman animated
I've not
series.
It
seen much
surprises
of
me that you've seen the Batman animated.
I love
That's
the Batman.
the more popular one.
It's so popular and iconic. But I've never seen... No, the Cat and the Claw. I think I actually have seen
this is with Catwoman.
Yeah, okay, so I probably have. But
from what I've heard about the Superman show, it's not as good, but it's solid enough, and I hear as its run goes, it gets better and better. And it's actually, I didn't do it right because I saw Batman, and then the Adventures of Batman and Robin is technically like what the show became, and then the New Adventures of Batman. It's all put together in that one box set. But then I jumped right from that to Justice League, completely skipping Superman and Batman Beyond.
That's what I did the same thing. Like after watching. Actually, I don't know what I watched first, but after the animated series, I got into the Justice League. Oh my god!
I started Batman Beyond, and I'll get back on that train eventually because I bought the series.
Oh, nice!
Like, why have I not watched this? This is good. Why have I not watched this?
I've heard nothing but great things about it. I should watch it too, but I'm excited to get into the animated series. It's been a while since I've seen it, so I'm excited to watch it again.
Have all of us seen the whole thing?
I have not seen the whole thing. I've seen
a long time.
A good
7 years since I watched the whole thing.
I remember like when I first, I think it was a couple years.
Watched the whole thing before,
way before the box. I had there are 4 volumes on DVD they're not hard to find, but they're a little pricey because they're way out of print.
Yeah,
you know, it's like they're like purple, blue, red, and
yellow.
That sounds dope.
And I have 2 of them, which are I think and my friend had the 3rd volume. The 4th volume is the new Batman Adventures. So I watched that part of the Blu-ray box set like 3 or 4 years ago.
Are the new Batman Adventures part of the box set?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
so that
those
means,
two shows and then the first two movies, which is Mask of the Phantasm and Sub-Zero.
Oh, but those are both so good.
It's a good box set. It's really cool.
That'd be cool to have, actually. Like, I would actually.
It is very cool to have.
Like, I haven't bought. I know I haven't bought movies in a second, but I would 100% buy those.
Yeah.
But all right, you guys ready to get into this?
Yep.
All right, let's do this without any further ado.
Take a bite.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, after we just watched Batman, the Cat and the Claw.
Part 1.
Part 1. Man, this is a good show.
Oh, yeah.
This is such a good show. Two things stand out to me after watching it today. The style of animation, like at the very beginning, like all like the Dutch angles and the really like contrasty look, and the music. Oh my God. Who made it again? You had the name? You said the name before? The music for the show?
Shirley Walker.
Shirley Walker.
I believe. I know she did it for Mask of the Phantasm at least. And I think the themes are from Danny Elfman's Batman.
That's the best part. Is
movies, but it's incorporated into music of its own for the show.
That's my favorite part. Is like I can hear the din 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 din. Like, oh, that theme just makes me feel things. But yes, I love this. You guys like rewatching it?
Oh yeah,
or watching it for the first time.
It kind of is a show where you can jump in almost anywhere in the show.
That's the best part.
And it works. I think the atmosphere of the show is probably its strength. It just there are parts where I was realizing like there's not much going on sound wise, but it feels so calm. There's a calming atmosphere to it.
I wonder if that's the nostalgia a little bit because
it's that, but just I don't know what it was. Just there's the mood of it. It's so consistent.
It feels very like that's like what I just know Batman. Like I know there's gonna be so many different opinions on what people think Batman should and shouldn't be, but when I look at this cartoon in this mood, like you were saying, that is what I always just feel like a little gothic, a little lighthearted.
I mean, this is one of the first Batman-ish things. If before that it was in the comics, obviously.
Two Burton movies and the
and
Adam
60s
West
stuff,
60s.
which are very different than that. So in a lot of ways, this set the tone in the bar for what we know as Batman, because a lot of the people making Batman movies right now are at least a similar age to us.
Mm-hmm. Well, especially because
to me.
Yeah. Well, like what you're saying though, like this came out in like the 90s. So this is right when me and Jared were born. So
you weren't born yet.
I was going to say it was out before you were born.
It was out before we were born, but like so like this was usually playing in reruns.
Actually,
like on the Cartoon Network or stuff like that.
How long did it run? 3, 4 seasons?
Something like that. I think about the time Superman started, I think is when it was starting to go down. I'll actually look at that.
One of the things I do really like that I know is annoying that because we're only watched the first episode, and so it's only part 1. But I know this series does it. I know the Justice League series does it. I'm assuming the Superman series does it too.
95.
Where it has like arcs like over episodes. Like it's usually like 2 or 3 episodes long. I just think that's a really good way to like keep
most
this
of the show
season.
Isn't that?
I feel like they're
Justice League, yes. Justice League, I don't know if there are any one-offs. I think Justice League, it's all 2 and 3-parters. Batman is not the case. There are 2-parters, but there's a lot of one-offs.
Maybe I just remember watching more 2-parters than the one-offs, but I think that's a really nice way to keep the story, just to keep it moving at a good pace.
It has a good sense of humor too.
That's which I love because like it makes
is really well because it balances the really heavy dark parts of it.
It's like it took a little bit of like the Tim Burtonisms. It took a little tiny like a pinch of Adam West Batman and kind of all meshed it together under like a new tone.
The only part of that I see that is Tim Burton is the gothic over accentuated backgrounds.
Yeah, I know you're right.
And the sort of old time look of it.
Yeah, it has a 1940s noir vibe for the show, which I don't think comes through as much in Burton's movies because that's a much different look. That is more of the gothic look. This is taking that, but with that, because like they have the blimps and the old looking cars, but yet they have, I think they have certain technologies that are more contemporary. It's a very interesting take on the modern world.
Just made me realize, I don't think they're, because of what you were saying, like the different like decades that it's pulling from, I feel like this kind of exists like outside of decades.
Yep.
Like,
it's its own thing.
I think they've said that.
That's super interesting. I never, until you just pointed that, I'm like, wait, maybe that's why I like it.
I always think about it when I watch it. Is like, I wonder what decade they pulled that from. Oh, I wonder what decade that pulled that from.
Yeah, it makes it feel like very like Elseworldy. Like this doesn't like, because there's so many different like things. Like you have like Batman and Catwoman. I mean, she didn't use that much tech in this, but I know
I don't know. She had claws that can cut through glass without any sort of effort.
Right, and it's kind of techy, and so like you take that like on top of like your old buildings, like you guys were saying, like
an old mounted machine gun is what the crooks were using in that chase. But then that necklace was that necklace was guarded by like laser sensors that you could see. Like I was like, I don't think they had those in the 40s.
No,
so it's kind of like a blending of things.
Although I will say every interaction that Selena Kyle had with Bruce Wayne, all I heard in my head was that TikTok sound. I know something you don't.
I know something you'll never know. Yes, I honestly, I love just the Selena Kyle, Catwoman, Batman. Their whole relationship is, oh my god, one of my favorites. It's just the sexual tension, just between those two, it's so entertaining to watch.
And Jake brought up there's so much emotion in everyone's faces, especially when she kisses him in his eye. It's all in his eyes, just going.
I know.
Like, oh,
but some of it also is derpy and funny.
Oh yeah, like when she says, "Can we push our date till tomorrow?" and he kind of does like 3 different poses, like okay. I was like, all that just to say okay. But there's a charm to it.
It is. It's absolutely. I like that they can do all those things without saying anything either. Like when you can just animate them good enough that it's just, you can absolutely tell what he's thinking in that.
The thing I like about Conroy's animated Bruce Wayne compared to others is he's real derpy.
He is.
He's just a goof. And it's mostly put on so people don't catch on. But all the other Bruce Wayne versions tend to be either really like dark and emo gritty like Pattinson, or just Michael Keaton staring at the camera and saying everything he needs to. Like, it works.
Or
or Val Kilmer asking if he liked the circus.
Or bat nipples.
Oh my god.
Or George Clooney pulling out a credit card. I'm just saying how.
Okay,
I forgot that it happened.
Drive through.
Okay, I can drive through.
I'm just gonna say all their Batmans. Bruce Wayne tends to be like this kind of blander shell, whereas Conroy's Bruce Wayne is just a goof. It's funny.
Conroy does a good job of being both character. Like,
yes.
You can say that they are separate characters.
Usually, Bruce Wayne gets sacrificed for the character of Batman.
Yes.
He does both very well.
I think he's the first one to change the tone of the voice for each, because I think all the others just kind of had the same, like a similar sound. I don't think Keaton switched his voice that much.
He didn't.
Because West doesn't, of course.
Yeah.
Keaton does, and then, of course, Kilmer and Clooney are just using their voices, whereas I think Conroy's kind of just straight up having 2 separate.
Christian Bale kind of.
That's why I said first.
The first. Gotcha.
And Bale's is a bit hard to take by the middle of the second movie.
It's a lot.
This is hurting him.
That's where you get the college humor bit. Where are the drugs going? Like, it's just so, it's so much.
What's he say in the second one when he has to choose between which person he's going to say?
Where are they? Rachel.
It's something. It's something more distinct than that, but I can't think of it right now.
It's just you're right. Like it's so like it's easy to make fun of, and I think Conroy. Well, you know what I else think Kevin Conroy does that nobody else does, because there's the tone of their movies is different. I think Kevin Conroy did a little more for kids, And I think that works.
It's a kid's show.
Because it's a kid's show.
I was going to say, it was a Saturday morning cartoon.
Exactly. And, like, I know everyone loves their Batman to be dark and broody and angsty, but, like...
Something in the way.
Yeah, there's something in the way. Like, I don't know. Like
I like that version of Batman,
I like that version, too. But there's something about, like, the kid Batman that just makes me want to be, like, it makes me want to watch Saturday morning cartoons again. The nostalgia hour is real. It's so real. But are you guys got anything else you want to mention about the show?
I got another. I think we've covered but we could keep going.
We absolutely could keep going. But if you like what we're talking about, make sure to stay tuned to next week to hear us compare this to the Superman show. But anyway, before we get on to that, Jared, if the good people like what they're watching, where can they follow us to see more?
Well, I'll rip the Band-Aid off. Our TikTok's funny.
Hold on. Don't we need it to be brooding in this scenario?
Sorry.
Our TikTok is funny.
The next one I make is going to be angsty.
You can also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, which is soon to be Meta, I believe.
Oh, dear God.
Maybe by the time this is out. I don't remember when.
Wait, hold up. I didn't hear that. Are they actually changing the name of it?
I think they are.
Meta?
Maybe by the time this video is out, it's already changed.
That's going to be so bad. Okay, just don't even pay attention. Hold
on.
Just everyone just delete your Macebook, Meta, Feta, whatever.
Macebook? I like that one.
I don't know.
Feta, you put that on pizza.
Wait, what?
Feta cheese on pizza is delicious.
Dude, that would actually be delicious. I love feta cheese.
Delicious, like a Greek pizza.
I've made Greek pizza before. It's
wonderful.
So good.
You can listen to us on Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Evil Lord, Apple Podcasts, and hey, watch us and listen to us here on YouTube.
And if they're watching us on YouTube, Jared, what can they see?
Our smiling faces.
Yes, and we put up new lights.
Yeah.
So if you at least want to just tune into YouTube just to look at our beautiful new lights, then please do. Thank you all for listening to today's episode of Side Bite Side, a production of Bite Size Media.
A subsidiary.
It's a whole name, whatever. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned until next week, where we're going to compare and contrast this with Superman. So from all of us at All Slate Media,
take a bite.
Bite me off a piece of that. Bite Size Thursday!